Good morning, good day. Welcome to you. All you beautiful divine souls, divine beings. Welcome here. Welcome. I encourage everyone here to be a part of our Facebook group, the Kundalini Facebook group and the Sangha, Fully Human, Fully Divine Facebook group. And we're going to have another community meeting in the coming weeks, maybe in 2 or 3 weeks. And we're going to look at these little side groups that are student-led and how that's going and how it's been for each of you to connect with each other and what you've been learning and how you've been growing and how it's been supportive and if anything needs to change or be adjusted. And so be on the lookout for that. I haven't scheduled that just yet. Okay, I think those are all my big announcements. Yeah. Okay. So today's teaching is a difficult teaching. And this is a difficult path. I don't need to tell you that, but sometimes it's good just to have that validated, that this path of awakening, when it's so physical, it's much more difficult than when you just have an awakening that happens in the space of your consciousness or your mind. The reason it's so difficult when it happens in the body is because our body is the densest aspect of our consciousness. It's the last thing to wake up. And I really still struggle with my body, as many of you know, that there's just parts of it, that just are stubborn. And, many of you know that one of my teachers, he retired from teaching and he acknowledged that, it's been really hard for him with his body, and he's a profoundly awakened being. And he still struggles greatly with his body and had to take medication just to deal with his body. So the body has a very dense consciousness, and it's a consciousness that just is repetitive. It fights and it holds on and it resists. And, many of you ask me like, hey, Craig, what am I doing wrong here? Like, why isn't this shifting? And often you're not doing anything wrong at all. It's just that the body is sometimes like talking to a tree. Like my neighbor and I, we both bought the same species tree the same year and planted them. Like my tree I planted, I think like a month after she planted hers. And her tree is twice the size. And sometimes I look out at my tree and I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong with this tree? Why is hers grown so much bigger? And sometimes when we talk to our body, we're like, why won't you open up like everyone else, or like someone I saw online, or like some great living saint or something? And your body might just sit there kind of dumb, with no real response, but purely resistance. And I want to be crystal clear here. I'm not calling your body dumb, but the consciousness of the body is, well, let's say this. It's not like the consciousness of the mind, which can be quite flexible and you can teach it things very quickly and it can shift. The consciousness of our body is very much like, a caveman. I don't know if I'm supposed to say cave person in this day and age, but our body's like a caveman. It's just like, it just doesn't understand. It doesn't understand what's happening to it. And so to support with this, I'm going to invite us just to gently close our eyes and just feeling into your body. And the primary thing we can do for our body is to breathe deeply and fully and just scanning the different centers. And so let's just start just with an overarching just scan of the body and noticing, is this body tight? Is it tense? Is it resisting? In this very unconscious and habitual manner, is my body resisting the movement of Kundalini Shakti? Is it resisting? And of course, for most of us, the answer will be yes. And for those of us who don't see how our body's resisting, sometimes it's that our body is so unconscious it doesn't even know how to be conscious of itself. But I can assure you, if you have a body and if you have Kundalini, there's a great chance that this body is resisting. So the mind may be open, the heart may be open, but our body often gets confused. And so from a place of compassion, let us breathe and invite a softening throughout the entirety of the nervous system. A great softening. A willingness to trust. We are in the comfort of our own home and we are safe. There's no danger here. It is safe to open. It is safe to experience. It is safe to acknowledge that this Kundalini Shakti has its root, has its origin in the divine, as the divine. So this recognition that Kundalini is not a dangerous thing. It may be intense, it may be big, it may be wild. Ultimately, it is here to heal and to awaken the consciousness of our mind, consciousness of our vital center, the consciousness of the body. So breathing and feeling. And softening. Inviting your body, the totality of your body, to be an open vessel. Often we experience our body as a contracted vessel. We're inviting it to be an open vessel this day. And so now we'll begin to scan the body in a more systematic way, just starting with the crown. And just noticing, is my crown chakra open and receptive to heavenly support, heavenly grace? Is my third eye open, spacious, empty and free? Or is the space of my mind full of thoughts of wanting this to be over, or wanting to control, or wanting to force, wanting our life to be different? And again, just inviting crown to be open, space of the mind to be open, inviting the throat chakra to be open. And so all these points in the body can be points of openness, spaces of openness. or they can be points of resistance, of non-acceptance, of hunkering down and fighting against. And I can assure you, when we fight with God, when we fight with life, when we fight with Kundalini, it's certainly a fight we will lose. We'll feel frustration or anxiety. So inviting waves of openness, waves of acceptance. Okay, Kundalini is here, God is here, lots of light is here. Can I accept this? Can I open to my divine experience, even if it's different than my normal human experience where I feel in control? Sometimes when we open to our divine experience, we feel out of control. But ultimately, it's healing, it's awakening. Can we accept that openness is the way? And so breathing more deeply and fully into the chest, into the heart. And just noticing in the heart, noticing the areas of the heart that do not accept, that have fought against. Sometimes the heart really shuts down and becomes quite cold. If there's any of that, coldness or denseness, again, in this moment, can we trust that openness is the way? That trust is the way. Accepting God's will is the way, not our will, but God's will. As we continue to open, breathe, softening to the solar plexus, just noticing if we're holding in the ribs, gripping in the belly, feeling down into the hara, noticing if there's any fear, any anger. Sometimes there can be, it's like a rebellious resistance in the solar plexus or the hara, a sense of no. And if there is a no, can we invite some deep, full breaths, inviting a grand yes. A yes, softening and opening. A yes. Inviting in okayness, great okayness. The truth of the hara. The recognition that you are the ground out of which all experience arises, a great okayness. Great okayness. So continuing to breathe, to feel, to soften, to accept. Love is the way. Peace is the way. Truth is the way. God is the way. Yes. So continuing to breathe, to open all the way down into the root, down into the earth, inviting your body to be deeply open, deeply receptive to this dancing light, this dancing Shakti, this flowing grace, this immense energy of creation. And you invite right down through the root, the central channel, the entire body. Be open, like a freshly plowed field, open and just waiting for seeds to be planted, for things to grow, for life to take off, for life to spring forward. Open. And so we're breathing, we're feeling, we're softening. We're trusting. And as we open, inviting this Kundalini Shakti to flow up from the legs and the feet, through the root, in an integrated way, through the hara, the solar plexus, exploding with a sense of exuberance and joy in the heart, bringing forth a feeling of lightness, of joyousness, compassion, of trust, knowing that you are a part of a grand plan, grand unfoldment of awakening. You are not here just to suffer and toil about the earth. We are here together to awaken to the beauty, to the glory of God, the glory of creation in us and as us. So again, inviting this Kundalini Shakti to flow up from the earth, through the root, through the hara, the solar plexus, flooding the chest with light, love, a sense of unity, a sense of exuberance as it flows up through upper chambers of the heart, pouring through the throat chakra, clearing any congestion, the throat chakra, bringing forth this joy into the space of the mind, shining out in all directions, bringing forth a grand sense of integration throughout the body, sense of healing, a sense of making things right throughout the body. Breathing, feeling, softening, opening. And finally, flowing all the way up through the central channel. Root, the hara, solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, pouring out the crown and into heaven. Inviting the whole body to melt, to surrender any and all resistance and come into a grand unification with life, a harmony and a balance. Inviting this Kundalini Shakti to flow unencumbered all the way through the central channel. And just noticing how your consciousness shifts, becomes immensely spacious, radiant, free, and whole. Even if the energy field is quite intense, when you trust it, your consciousness opens, the energy smooths out. When we don't trust, when we resist, everything becomes off and disjointed and stuck and messy. Feels so congested when we resist. And so just noticing the joy, the freedom of cooperating with the divine, cooperating with this sense of unity. Taking a deep, full breath. And if there's anything here that's still out of harmony, I invite you to lift it up, giving it over to the divine, saying, Lord, Divine Mother, you straighten this out. Bring this into harmony. You show me how to let go, how to accept, how to surrender, how to untangle, how to untangle this enormous and habitual mess I found myself in. Will you untangle the knots, Lord? And so, yes, continuing to breathe, to feel, to soften, inviting a great untangling of karma, of resistance, of habit. Sometimes it's just the body just stuck in the loop of fear. And so let us invite greater waves of love, of compassion, of support, holding, embracing any of the habitual places that feel stuck. Just letting them know it's okay to trust, to open, to breathe, to feel, to flow, to release. And so again, just inviting gentle awareness at the bottoms of the feet and the root, inviting this flowing Shakti to come up from the earth, the root, the hara, the solar plexus, cutting a new channel with light, with love, with peace, with strength, flowing up through the solar plexus, flooding the heart with light, with Shakti, clearing out anything that is stuck, flowing up through the throat chakra, through the third eye, through the crown, flowing into heaven, giving yourself the gift of freedom, the gift of surrender, the gift of trust, the gift of integration. Integration to any parts of you that hold on. Can you accept that openness is the way, that love is the way, truth is the way, that surrender is the way? We breathe, we feel, we smile, we open. We continue to allow this Shakti to flow. Unencumbered. This is the way. This is the way. And so, I'm going to invite you to gently open your eyes and continue to allow the Shakti to flow. And I ask you this very basic question. Are you willing to accept this path before you? This path of continually opening and trusting. Can you accept that your body's programming of resistance, it's not going to work? It's not the way. It won't do us any good. Won't do us any good. Can we choose trust? Can we consciously choose trust in every moment of our life? Can we choose trust even if our body unconsciously screams in resistance? Can we choose to say yes to this very mysterious yet holy path of profound awakening? Can we trust in God above and the intelligence of the universe, not in the intelligence of fear? So that's my question to you.